If the people you exchange your money with, like banks, were honest, then chances are we wouldn't be living in a society where so many people are living paycheck to paycheck with almost no savings, with virtually no investments, and no idea on how to become wealthy. What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh from theminorityMindset.com, where money minds rethink rich. Have you ever wondered what life would look like if we lived in a world where the people you did business with were just honest with you about what was going on in the transaction? I think about this a lot. Maybe it's just because I'm a money nerd, but I always wonder what life and society would look like if people understood what was really going on with their money. We all go through this system in society where we go to school to get a job, and then we go to work so we can make money, so we can become wealthy, so we can eventually retire. But nowhere along the way are we ever taught how to use our money or how to build wealth or how to protect our money. That's what pushed me to start Minority Mindset in the first place, because I never grew up learning about entrepreneurship or investing or money management. I had never heard of these things in my life. And so when I went out and I became an entrepreneur and I started my first business and I got scammed out of a lot of money, I didn't know what to do. So then I started putting out content trying to help people not get screwed over the way I was. And I very much appreciate your thumbs ups, which got us here. But the thing that you need to understand that we are never taught is that we live in a society where we have a lot of industries that profit when you do not understand money. So what do? Well, you get advice from whoever you know or who you do business with. The problem with that is the people you know probably don't know what's best for you, because if they did, they wouldn't be where they are financially. And the people you're doing business with don't want you to know what's best for you, because if you knew that, then they wouldn't make as much money. Just look at banks. Could you imagine what would happen if banks were honest, where if you walked into a bank to get a loan and the bank manager said, you know what, yeah, I can approve you for this loan, but I don't know if you want to do this, because if you take out this loan from me, then you're never going to become wealthy because you're spending all your money on things that you don't need. You sure you still want that loan? If banks were honest with you and people understood how the banking system works, then first, people would not be taking out all these loans to buy things that they don't need. So people would actually start building their own wealth instead of making all these other people rich and making their banker rich. And you also wouldn't see people keeping all of their money in the bank, so the banks would lose money. Because if people understood how the banking system works, well, they'd be taking their money out of the bank and putting their money in assets, which would make them rich, not their banker rich. Banks are important and they have their place, and you need to understand how to use the bank. But just because they have their place doesn't mean that they should be able to skin you alive financially because you don't know how to use a bank the right way. When people have a banking question or a question about loans or how much money they should take out, they're going to ask their friend who doesn't know anything about money, or they're going to ask the bank who's going to want you to take out as much money as possible, because that's how the bank makes money. But it's not just banks. Everybody kind of has their own agenda. Insurance companies don't want you to be financially educated, because if you were, then you wouldn't be investing your money with your insurance company. You'd be investing your money yourself, and you wouldn't be going to your insurance company for advice on how much insurance that you need. Because when you ask your insurance company how much insurance you need, they're always going to tell you more. Politicians don't want you to actually know what's going on. All they want is your vote. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. You see this on both the Republican and the Democratic side. They will sell you promises and promises and promises to make you like them. And when it comes time for things to be done, nothing happens. What about financial advisors? Did you know that some financial advisors only make money when you make money? And then you have some other financial advisors, they make money whether you make money or lose money, and they really don't care if you make money because they're gonna get paid either way. When you wanna go out and buy yourself your dream car, who do you ask to see how big of a car that you can afford? Well, a car company and a financing company. And their goal is not to look out for your wallet or your wealth or your financial health. Their job is to make as much money as possible for their companies. So they're going to try to get you approved for the biggest loan and the biggest car possible, because that's going to make them the most money. Even real estate agents. Your real estate agent's job is to help you find your dream home. Their job is not to help you find a home that is best for your wallet and your financial health. And so they're going to want to help you find the best home possible, which also coincidentally translates to the biggest commission check possible for them, because the bigger home they sell you, the more money they make. It's the same with people like me, random people on YouTube. I'll be honest, when I make a video, I want people to watch it and leave me a thumbs up button, because the more people that watch, the more money I make. And so people on YouTube will try to do what they can with their thumbnails and their titles to get people to click on their videos, because that's how people on YouTube get paid. Most content creators are not going to tell you that, but it's reality. Every content creator out there is working to improve their thumbnails and their titles to get people to click on their videos and their stuff. Now look, you gotta understand what I'm saying here. Does this mean that all people, YouTubers and real estate agents and car salespeople and insurance people and mortgage agents and everyone else are evil because they're after your business? No, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. You have YouTubers with great intentions. You have real estate agents that are very helpful. I am a real estate agent myself, and I know a lot of very good real estate agents. You have car salespeople that are nice. You have great insurance people. You have great mortgage people. There are great people in every industry, but you gotta understand what's best for you, because not everybody is looking out for your financial interest. And when we don't know how to do something, because we're never taught about money, we're never taught about financial education growing up, where do we go? Well, we go to the people that we know who don't know what we should be doing with our money, or now we go to the people that we're doing business with, but these people are also looking out for their wallets. So if I diagram this out for you, over here, you have all these people and all these businesses and all these industries that want your business. So you have banks, you have car people, you have insurance people, you have real estate people, you have mortgage people. All of these people want your business. And when you don't have any financial education, what they do is here, they're coming after your business and you have no kind of like filter knowing what's right. And so what happens is you make money and all your money goes out to these people. Now again, that doesn't mean that all these people are evil. All these people are trying to look after their livelihoods and they're just trying to make a living and feed their families too. This is how the world works. This is how our society works. What you need to do is you need to put up a wall right here. This, we're going to call this your FE wall, financial education wall. You got to understand money and you got to understand where your money is worth going and how much of it is worth going, because this is where you got to put up a filter. You got to just understand this is how the world works. The majority of people at this point, they get upset. They start crying. They start complaining. Oh my God, this is so evil. Real estate agents want my money and car salespeople want my money and insurance people want my money and banks want my money. Yes, everybody wants your money. That's how the world works. That's business. That's life. People want your money. And in exchange, they're going to give you some value. That's how the world works. What you need to do is you got to understand who is worth giving your money to, and you got to understand when it's worth giving your money. This is where financial education comes handy. You got to put up this wall here. You got to understand what's going on, because the reality is your insurance company is not going to be honest with you. Your mortgage company is not going to be honest with you. They're going to tell you what they can do to give you the most value, the most business possible. They're not looking out for your financial health or your wallet. And so you, right here, if this is you, I'm gonna draw you a nice mustache, or if you were a female, draw you a braid, or as we call it in my native language, a gut. You gotta know what's best for your wallet, and you have to protect this. And the way you protect it is with this financial education shield. You gotta understand how money works, and you are not going to learn this in school, and you're not going to learn how to protect your money from the bank by going to the bank and asking them how you should protect your money. You can probably tell I'm a little bit passionate about this, but the real issue here is this is what's keeping so many people broke. It's keeping so many people relying on other people like the government to take care of them, and nobody can live their life financially free because they don't have this barrier. They don't have this financial education, and so now they're drowning in debt. They have no money left for themselves because all their money is going out because they don't understand how to protect their money. This really starts with the tiniest things. Like I was helping my grandma out with some stuff and she was showing me some of her bank statements, and she doesn't speak English. And I'm looking at her Bank of America bank statements and I'm seeing that every single month Bank of America is taking $15 out of her account. And I asked her, what is this? And she was like, I don't know. So I called the Bank of America and they said it's a maintenance fee. I said, a maintenance fee for what? They said it's a maintenance fee to manage her checking account. And I was like, you gotta be crazy. $15 to manage a checking account when I can just go to the bank down the street and pay $0 for a maintenance fee. From there, it starts to stem into things a whole lot bigger. When you're 18, if you don't have a lot of guidance, what do? Well, you go to college because that's what everyone else does. And if you don't have rich parents who are going to pay for your college, well, now you're going to sign your life away with student loans because you don't realize how much $50,000 worth of student loans are when you sign the papers. But as soon as you leave college, that's when you get slapped in the face with payments, because now you have to pay back all this money that you borrowed plus interest. And then probably worst of all is when people are trying to do the right thing and they try to do what's financially smart, and they go out and they find themselves a financial advisor, but they don't know the difference between some financial advisors advisors and others, and now they have their money with a financial advisor that's charging them huge fees that has no incentive to make you any money, because whether you make money or lose money, they make the same amount of money. And so they have no incentive to make you any money. Sure, on paper it says that they have to look out for your best interest, but really, do they have to? Because whether or not they make you money, they're still getting paid. This is where financial education is so important, because we get brainwashed into thinking that this is normal. That's just society. That's just how the system works, because that's how it always worked. But just because that's how it always worked in the past doesn't mean it has to keep working like that in the future. And so if you really want to break away from the system, you gotta stop thinking like the majority of people. That's why we call ourselves the minority mindset, because we don't think like the majority of people. And you gotta start understanding this financial education. You gotta start putting up this virtual wall here where you understand, okay, yeah, everybody wants my business. That's life. Now you gotta understand where it's worth giving your money to, and once you understand this, now you can understand how to win in the system, because now you can be on the beneficiary side. You can be the producer instead of just the consumer making everybody else rich. This is just how the system works, hate it or love it. You got to understand how to win in the system instead of just complaining because you're losing in the system. Nobody wants you to know this, because if you knew this, then these people would stop making money. But this is where you got to understand. There are going to be winners and there are going to be losers. I know people don't like to talk about that nowadays because they get triggered over everything, but that's reality. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. And the thing that differentiates them is this right here, your financial education. If you have the financial education, you will be a winner. If you don't, then you are going to continue losing in the system. This is where you got to understand how money works and how to protect your money, because if you don't, no one else is going to tell you. Now, luckily, there's a lot of free resources out there that you can see the other videos that we have on our YouTube channel. You can check out our website, theminoritymindset.com, because we have a ton of free financial education out there. But you have to be the one to go out there and put in the work and learn, because nobody is going to tell you. If you enjoyed this video, here's a video on investing your money that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, join our free finance and business newsletter. And as always, keep hustling. How can I use my money to create more value instead of just using my money to spend on nice things? You want to have your nice things, I understand that. But when you make money, I want you to think about it in terms of assets instead of liabilities first.